I think you got to be worried about Stuckey Mosley too, because he was 2 for 6 from the field last night. Yes, his team won, but he's capable of a whole lot more than that.
Again, Cameron Smith begins in the starting lineup here for James Madison. Just his second game of the year. We'll get to that story here in a moment. As the tip is won by Hofstra, and away we go. Game 1 of 4. Quarterfinal round action here of the CAA tournament, presented by Jersey Mike's.
1-3-1 by the Dukes with Smith up top, a big man, trying to so you can't see around him.
Heads up play by Jacquil Taylor to throw it off the leg. And Hofstra's going to save their possession with 12 seconds left in the shot clock.
And a quick substitute. Very quick.
Cam came in for the opening tip and then they'll take him out of the game immediately. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Shot missed by Wright Foreman, but another offensive rebound and another possession here for the Pride.
Yeah, you're not going to give them extra possessions to get away with it. They're just too good. What a cut.
Great pass. Shot was missed, but Taylor with the tip in.
Jacquil Taylor got the offensive board. Jacquil Taylor got the tip in. Good possession for him. Hofstra gets it on that 2-3 zone. You got to find gaps in the zone and get the ball into that CAA logo and let somebody be a playmaker in there.
There's Stuckey Mosley. Skip it up top to Lewis. Underneath to Wilson, lost it. And now Mosley from the elbow. Too short. And Hofstra with the rebound. Well, we talked a lot about Matt Lewis, obviously, with 26 points yesterday. Dwight Wilson also had a career-high 26 points for JMU in their win. Wright Foreman misses, and Wilson with the rebound.
Little bump there. He thought he was going to get the call, and they did not make it. Matt Lewis feels like he can make anything, anytime, and he just did right there after last night.
Just rip the net, ties the game. Just underway again, game 1 of 4 here today from the North Charleston Coliseum.
1-3 was zone. The deep corners will be open if you move the ball quickly.
Pemberton into the lane, off the glass, and gets the roll.
We've got a few athletes out here today. Great move by Pemberton, just sliding across. Zone both ways. This is unusual. In this day and age, you don't see that a lot, but both teams are good at it, and that's what they're going to.
Into the lane to Wilson. Good extra pass out to Lewis. Nice dish underneath. Shot is short, and the Pride come away with the rebound.
Let me tell you something, Jeff. That's a great possession. Darius Banks just didn't finish the play. They moved the ball and got a layup.
A bit too short. Rebound to James Madison, and our first foul will go against Tariq Coburn for Hofstra. Well, again, for the Hofstra Pride, the regular season champions at 15-3. Second time in 4 years that they have won the regular season championship, but they were co-champions back in 2015-16. We actually had their final regular season game at Delaware, and there was no doubt in their mind. They came out and they said, we want to win this whole thing by ourselves. We don't want any co-champions this year. And they did. They took care of business and took care of Delaware to win the outright championship, their first outright conference title since 2001 when they were in the America East. Skip pass and in and out of the hands of Parker. Turnover gives it back to the Pride.
So Hofstra extend the defense a little bit that last time. Not necessarily to steal it, but take some time off that 30-second clock to give JMU not as much time to run their offense. They turned it over.
Speaking of offense, Hofstra #1 in the league, over 84 points per game.
Good recognition. JMU switches to a man, and they recognized it.
Coburn is fouled by Darius Banks. We saw Coburn a second ago out of Queens, New York. Set out last season after transferring from St. Bonaventure. Pemberton lost it, and this is going to be a foul against Pemberton.
Hey, A.J. Desai called him for pushing off.
Hofstra with a 2-point lead. Just a little over 3 minutes in.
There's the extension, just to slow down the Dukes and give them less than 22-23 to get a possession, and now back to the 2-3. Somebody's in your area, they're in your face. That's where you got to get it.
Parker, little touch shot won't go. And Bowie comes away with the rebound. Bowie resets the offense. Coburn open in the corner. A little bit too strong on the three. Taylor with the tip to Pemberton and the finish.
Kept alive. Pemberton, right place, right time. Jacquil Taylor's all over those offensive boards.
Steal by Bowie. It's what he's done all season long, and the layup is good.
Perfect timing. Faked it and then took it. You have a tendency to be a little lax with the ball. Guess who's going to steal it and go the other way with it, Mr. Bowie.
JMU taking their time looking over the defense here of Hofstra.
This is their staple defense. It's more of a 2-3 than a matchup, but if you get in somebody's area, they're going to get in your face and pressure you. That's where you got to get the ball. Got to be up. He's got to be capable of making that one. There you go.
Good shot by Darius Banks, the sophomore out of Florida.
Well, when the ball goes in the middle where the logo is, somebody's got to cover him. If it's the middleman coming up, there's openings in the corner. Nobody did. Banks just stuck it.
Right, Foreman with the layup. Able to knife his way right down the middle of the lane. Nice pass.
You don't want to see him watch the ball go through the net because he can get him in bunches. Got to move that basketball. You can't freeze it. You can't get stuck on one guy.
Shot clock already down to 12 here on JMU. Banks to Wilson. Spins against Taylor. Nice up and under move. And now they battle for the rebound as Taylor strips it away.
Excellent move. Just didn't make it.
Floater. No good. Taylor put back is good.
Jacquil Taylor owns the offensive glass. If he doesn't get it, he tips it and keeps it alive.
And again, so many different weapons.
Just under 7 foot, 235. He's a big body inside.
This is actually the third time these two teams met this season. JMU did win in their last matchup this season in overtime, 104-99. Another deflection and a steal. Pemberton stepped through in the lane. I think one too many steps. And actually, no, they're going to say a foul on JMU. They're going to get Matt Lewis.
I agree with you. But Mike Stevens does not.
Free throws coming up here for Eli Pemberton, the junior out of Middletown, Connecticut. Went over 1,000 points for his career, just the 16th player in school history to go over 1,000. Again, just a junior.
See, if he makes this, they'll probably extend that defense like they have. If he doesn't, they probably will not because it's tougher to do when it doesn't go in the basket.
Greg Jones is going to come into the game for James Madison for the first time. Jones just a sophomore from Richmond. And Pemberton too short in the first. Again, Hofstra, the second best free throw shooting team in the nation coming into today.
Yeah, they don't miss him like that, especially he's 77 by himself.
Yeah, they don't miss often.
There's a break, though, for JMU. They got 2 misses. Now they got to get a bucket.
Skip pass over to Banks. Nice fake. Jones nowhere to go. Gives it to Parker, the freshman. 1 second on the shot clock. Too strong. Battle for the rebound comes into the hands of Bowie. Nice pass into the lane, and Pemberton scores. A whistle, a foul, count the basket.
Azure Bowie, 5.4 assists a game, and this one was special. He made the defense commit. Watch this. Full speed, he's looking up the whole time. He saw who he's going to throw to the whole time. At the last second, gives it to him. And then a nice finish, and then one opportunity for Pemberton. They're relentless. They're just relentless when they come after you.
3-point play by Pemberton. He'll get a rest.
Coach Mihalik is imploring them, get after him. They realize they can not put this game away, but they can step on somebody's throat right here, and they're trying.
So Pemberton out, Dan Dwyer in, also Jalen Ray in. A couple new players in for the Pride here for the first time. Coming up on 13 minutes to play first half. First game here of 4 today, quarterfinal round action.
They got Hofstra out of that 2-3 semblance for a quick period and thought they had an opening, and then Hofstra gets right back into it. Nice pass. Good left hand.
Zach Jacobs to Greg Jones.
He's got to get it in that blue area, in the painted area, and there's all kinds of opportunities as right there, an open layup. Easier said sitting here than it is out there, trust me.
Absolutely. Bowie, nice pass underneath to Dwyer. Had to get rid of it to Coburn, though. Spins out, Dwyer with the offensive rebound. And now Bowie resets the offense for Hofstra. Right, Foreman can't get it to go, but a foul. Well, I tell you what, Nate, this is just one of those games where you just kind of feel, I mean, as much of a slow start as it's been for James Madison, just 3 made field goals. I mean, they're still very much in it. It's only 15-6.
They got to do something on the offensive glass. They're getting out rebounded 6-0, and Justin Wright Foreman's going to find a way to get the shot off one way or the other and going to the line right there. But 6-0 on the offensive boards creates extra opportunities like this.
10-point lead now for the Pride.
11-3 total rebounds, but the offensive boards are where they're getting embarrassed a little bit.
Wright Foreman 86% from the free throw line this season.
That's all.
He went to the line 169 times during the regular season.
Well, he's has such an array of moves that sometimes you don't think he's going to do something when you're guarding him and you bump him. Very creative when he gets the ball in his hands. So work to get it in the middle, move it side to side and find that opening. He just recovers so well.
Shot clock down to 5 here on JMU. Lewis trying to make something happen. Through a double team, shoots it up and in. Nice shot by Matt Lewis.
Yeah, that's no big deal. I saw him do it from behind the three-point line. Same situation. He just believes in his offensive abilities. Last night did nothing but help.
And now a turnover. Jacobs comes away with it. Down the middle of the lane, lays it in. And a little 4-0 run by JMU to make the lead 7.
Zach Jacobs almost lost it 3 times, but he didn't, and finished.
Wright Foreman spins. He has it knocked away. Parker, no numbers. He's going to take it, and it's knocked out of bounds. It will be JMU basketball when we come back. 11:16 left to play. Game 1 of 4 today. Jacobs with the steal and the finish on the other end. Their offense, 84 points per game. Defense pretty good.
Yeah, they're very intense. They don't stand around in a 2-3 zone. And they morph it a little bit when the ball goes to a place where there isn't a man. They just find somebody. I guess you can call it a matchup. Look at the top of your picture. Coach Mihalik's in a great defensive stance. He's ready to roll.
Triple threat, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
The freshman Parker, no good on the 3. Jalen Ray, backside rebound, ripped down with one hand.
Yeah, that was special.
Pemberton, just beyond the 3-point line. Can't get it to go. James Madison with the rebound.
Coach Mihalik didn't, it wasn't a bad shot, it was just too quick. Move the ball, make the defense make a mistake before you hoist one in transition. If they don't communicate, this defense doesn't work. They do a good job of handing people off, and they're going to double the post. That's a good move. That's different. They hadn't done that yet.
Wilson trying to pass through the double team, and Parker gets fouled, I think, by Pemberton. It was. That's going to be the second on Pemberton.
Doubled the post. JMU wasn't ready for it. And watch Pemberton come across. And advantage, disadvantage, bumps into the player trying to catch it. Foul on the Pride. They're pointing, they're talking, and it doesn't work if you don't do that.
JMU on the other side being very patient with their offense. Trying to find little gaps in the zone, or just shoot over the top of it.
Whatever, that's where you got to get it.
Battle for it underneath. And the possession arrow is going to keep it with James Madison.
Jalen Ray, first man on the floor usually wins. The arrow, which I hate.
We got Jalen Ray about 6 foot, 6'1", 175, taking on Dwight Wilson, 6'8", 280.
Put a little heat on the officials. Teach them to throw the ball up straight and then get rid of the arrow. That's a great defensive play, and they don't get the possession because of it. And I know it evens out because it goes back and forth. I still don't like the arrow.
Lewis to inbound finds Wilson in the corner.
It looks like it's man-to-man, but it isn't. Good shot from up top there. It's a 2-3 zone that'll morph to where the offense goes.
Shot clock down to 11. They give it back to Lewis. From the elbow, fadeaway, and gets the roll. And all of a sudden, just a 5-point game after Hofstra opened up a double-digit advantage.
And if I am correct, that is not the basket he made the shot on last night. So they both work for him.
James Madison's got some comeback in him. They were down by 11 with 7.5 minutes to go last night and ended up beating Towson. Jalen Ray hits a big three as Hofstra gets back on the board.
They got so many weapons. Jalen Ray averages a little under 8 a game, but they needed one and he got one right there.
Snaps a little 6-0 run by James Madison.
JMU's got to get this thing, keep it under double digits, and get it to 7 at the half maybe, and they feel good about themselves going in.
Lewis step back, nowhere to go. Down to Wilson, banging against Taylor, and offensive foul on Jacquil Taylor, or on Dwight Wilson rather.
Jacquil Taylor's the MVP of the first 12 minutes of this basketball game on the offensive glass, all over the place, in great defensive position. You can be moving in a legal guarding position. Caught that left forearm. Good play, good call. Oh,
Ray underneath to Taylor. Taylor just slipped the screen, headed straight for the bucket. What a pass.
My guy, Jacquil. I told you, MVP of the first half.
That slip screen is so dangerous, isn't it?
Well, people slip it more than they set it nowadays, and if you're hedging, you're beat.
Coming up on 8 minutes left to play here in the first half. Nice pass underneath.
Big difference. Dwight Wilson didn't dribble it. Got great position. All he had to do was catch it and lay it in. He had 26 yesterday.
Good pass from the freshman Parker.
Good job by passer and receiver to get great deep post position.
Long three-pointer. In and out. Tipped out to JMU. Parker has it blocked from behind. Jacquil Taylor came out of nowhere.
Wow.
And blocks it away. 7:30.
Hofstra 16-6 points in the paint. And they're not just post-ups, they're cuts and they're layups. But they're easier and they're making more of them.
Parker looks over the defense, calls out the offensive set, gives it to Lewis.
They won't let you screen that zone. Justin Wright Foreman just overplayed it and wouldn't let him screen it.
Lewis jump stop in the lane, shot no good. Put back is good though. Dwight Wilson, again 26 points, a career high last night.
Right place, right time on that glass. He's a big body, Dwight Wilson. 260, about 6'7". There's the 1-3-1 by the Dukes.
Wilson, 4 points, 4 rebounds in this one already.
It's somebody in the corner and it's open right there.
Stafford Trueheart is checked in for Hofstra for the first time. Three-pointer good. Again, so many weapons. This time Jalen Ray, the sophomore from Hampton, Virginia, with the three.
Jeff, that's great offense. One corner wasn't open, a cross-court diagonal, and then slap it to the other corner, and he stings him. See, they won't let you screen them. They get up the top of the screen and make you go the way they want you to go.
Jones in the lane. No good. Trueheart with the rebound. Well, the way that Hofstra's rebounding right now, it's just one shot for JMU.
That's it. One and done.
Right, Foreman. No good. Banks the rebound.
This is where you got to get a good one because you got the defense in a scramble situation.
Banks all the way to the other end. Shot blocked. Trueheart with the rebound. Here comes Justin Wright Foreman. 2-on-2 back the other way. Spins. No look pass. And the jam by Jacquil Taylor. What a play.
That's the man who wants to win a basketball tournament. Second leading scorer in the nation, and he gives it up to his teammate. That's a great play.
And now Hofstra with the run, up by 11. Blocking foul against Hofstra, and their bench is livid.
Justin Wright Foreman, watch this. He's setting everybody up for the spin move and the layup, and he just dishes it off to the guy that's been the guy, Jacquil Taylor. Great pass, better finish.
Taylor with 8 points, 5 rebounds. He's 4 of 4 from the field for the Pride.
Yeah, that's not a bad half. That's a special move. I thought he was going to spin back for the layup.
I did too. Banks finds himself open, misses the layup. Gets the ball back, a whistle, and a foul on the floor.
Banks hung with it, got fouled in the second one, but a lot of times you miss a layup, you drop your head. He did not. He's going to go to the line. Well, not enough foul, excuse me, not to the line. I like what they did, though. That defense half court's tough to attack, so get it in transition and don't settle. Take it to the rim. They did.
Largest lead of the game here for Hofstra. Again, 11-point advantage. Just over 5 minutes left first half.
But just think the 7 or 8 at the half if you're the Dukes, and you feel like you took a big punch in the gut and you came back from it. See, they won't let you screen them. That's where you need it.
Dumps it to Banks against Trueheart. Throws it up and in. Nice shot by Darius Banks.
Got the defender on his butt and kept him there. That's a really good move by Banks. Pivoting, it's a lost art in basketball. Banks was good at it.
There's Bowie with 9 seconds on the shot clock. In the lane, lost it.
JMU got out of that 1-3-1. The man was good to him.
Lewis kicks it out. 3-pointer on the way, and that one is good. Matthew Urbach off the bench with a big 3 for the Dukes. And back to a 6-point game.
That's great offense. Matt Lewis driving it to the middle, and Urbach just finds his spot and pays it off.
Urbach's only played in 12 games all year for JMU. What a shot. James Madison hanging in there here early on against the #1 seed.
Stop here, and Uncle Mo goes the other way.
Ray in and out. Taylor, putback is good. What a half for Jacquil Taylor. Double figures already.
So quick off the floor with that second jump. The first one got the rebound. The second one went up before the defense could do anything.
10 points, 6 rebounds for Jacquil Taylor. And now another steal by Bowie, his second one this half, and the layup. So quick. Conference leader in steals. Back at it again here this afternoon.
Well, he knows they're throwing it to the top, and he's taking it away twice.
Lewis with an answer on the other end for JMU.
If you don't look at the scoreboard, you think Hofstra's up 20. JMU's hanging in there.
Yeah. 8-point game coming up on 3 minutes left.
A stop here is what you need. A stop, a score, and a stop if you're JMU to get back in this thing or even get it to 1 or 2 possessions at the half.
Justin Wright Foreman just 1 for 6 so far for Hofstra, but still this 8-point lead. Taylor blocked underneath by Banks. Hard block, physical play, and a foul on JMU.
It's a really good block, but when he swung his arm down like that, it's a foul every time, even though we heard the leather hit the palm.
That'll bring us to a break. 3:02 left to play here in the first half. Hofstra with an 8-point lead.
Keep this game under 10 within 8 points or less would probably be ideal, taking Hofstra's best punch. Also talked about finding Jacquil Taylor, obviously the star of the first half for Hofstra at the free throw line right now. They said they need to find him off screens, they need to find him under the basket, and especially box him out. So we'll look forward to seeing that here in the last 3 minutes, guys.
All right, Bobby, great stuff, and that is exactly right. Jacquil Taylor has been the star of the show so far. Now 12 points and 6 rebounds.
Hey, good luck with the boxing him out deal.
Yeah, right.
He's just so active. That's hard to do.
And now another turnover.
Try to get it to Banks in the middle where you're supposed to get it, and a slap away by the Pride.
Wright Foreman just 1 of 6 so far, but spins that one in, and just like that, the lead is up to 12.
Right-handed, and he's a lefty. You can't take a break. You can't lose concentration against these guys. There's a reason they're the #1 seed.
I was just going to say, Nate, I mean, how dangerous are these next 2.5 minutes here for JMU?
Exceptionally dangerous. JMU wants to cut it to 8, as Bobby just told us. Hofstra wants to bump it to 18, and they're very capable of doing that. Just called a set. Coach Mahalik just called a set. I would think you're going inside to Mr. Taylor some way, somehow. Wow.
Foreman has it stripped away by Banks, and now numbers on the other end for JMU. Banks dishes it. Parker lost control of it, out of bounds, and it's going to be Hofstra basketball.
Darius Banks had a guy on each lane. He waited, dribbled too long to give the ball off, and one defender covered everybody and blocked it out of bounds back to the Pride.
It's amazing how many times we see that, isn't it? I mean, on those fast breaks, you give it up early, and good things happen.
Yep.
You hang on to it too long, and then you get stuck underneath the basket, ends up being a turnover.
Well, back in 4th grade, you were taught stop at the free throw line.
Bowie no good. Rebound by Wilson.
All right, good stop. Now you just got to get a bucket here.
Lewis working the baseline. Skips it over to Erbach, and that's his second three-pointer.
Baseline drive, baseline drift. 3 for Erbach, his second.
90 seconds to play, first half. JMU doing everything possible to try and keep this single digits before the break. Wright Foreman skips it over to Bowie. Three-pointer spins out. Banks all the way to the other end, scores.
If you're going all the way, do not give it up. The last time he was hesitant, that time there was no question in his mind, I'm taking it to the rack.
Boy, impressive here by JMU. They took a shot to the chin, but they answered.
Post-game, Coach Rose said they've been working so hard, it finally paid off for them last night. It's paying off right now. Push it, guys, push it.
Lewis fouled in the lane. And free throws coming up for James Madison with 45 seconds left to play.
Jeff, the set 2-3 zone of Hofstra is so hard to try to deal with. Just don't deal with it. Beat it down the floor. Last time they did it with Banks. This time Matt Lewis does the same. Didn't make it, but going to the line for 2. Either way, it's points.
How about Lewis? Fearless. That was 1 on 4.
Oh, he believes he can do no wrong in this building after last night. Come on. 26 and a 3 with 2.7 to go to seal the deal for him.
How impressive is this, Nate? I mean, just moments ago, Hofstra had their largest lead at 12. And now James Madison has come right back. The lead is down to 5. 7-0 run for the Dukes.
The guy in the top of your picture in the corner, number 3, is the second leading scorer in the nation. He knows how to do it in this situation.
Bowie drives, reverse layup. Wow, what a play by DeJure Bowie. And now James Madison can hold for the final shot if they want with 23 seconds left.
They're deciding whether they're going to stop it and talk about it. Nope, they're going to play.
Nine seconds left, down to 7. James Madison's got to go. Lewis with 5 seconds. Double teamed, loses it. 1 second, and the heave all the way to the other end will be well shy by DeJure Bowie. And James Madison just couldn't quite figure out what they wanted to run against that DC. Finished the first half, 10 points and 3 assists for James Madison. He was 4 of 6 from the field.
JMU starts out man. And that's been the man right there.
Justin Wright Foreman, they're trying to get him going early, misses it, and out of bounds. Last touch by Wilson, so Hofstra is going to keep it.
Now, I've watched Justin Wright Foreman play a lot, and you and I were just talking about before we came back on the air. He doesn't force things. He lets the game come to him, but he's capable of exploding for bunches in a short period of time.
Bowie underneath, looking for Pemberton, in and out of his hands, so the turnover will give it to JMU. Again, Hofstra, if you're just tuning in, led by as many as 12 points with 2.5 minutes left in that first half. And here we are, a 7-point game just underway, second half. The winner of this game will advance in the semifinals to take on the winner of our next game, William & Mary in Delaware.
That's where you got to get it. I'm sure they talked about that at halftime, and that's the guy to get it to, Lewis in the middle.
Fadeaway jumper from the elbow, nails it. It's a 5-point game.
Well, the big man's going to come up to play him, and that time he shot it. He is quicker than anybody's going to guard him in that spot because one of the three bigs underneath has to come up to guard him.
Nice look underneath to Pemberton. Good defense, those blocked by Lewis. Saved by Bowie. Coburn, baseline runner won't go. Stays with it, puts it back up and in.
Nobody knows whether it's going in or not better than the guy who just shot it. Coburn just hung with it, knew he missed it. Great effort.
Coburn, the transfer from St. Bonaventure. Wilson trying to go back door and finds Stuckey Mosley for the layup. Mosley quiet back in that first half, did not score.
Didn't get that look at all in the first half. That's a little adjustment at halftime. That was nice.
Right, Foreman elevates, a little bit too strong. Rebound down to Lewis.
Transition, see who does their thing better here.
Boy, Hofstra got back in their 2-3 quickly,
Yeah.
didn't they? Wilson against Taylor, spins baseline, scores.
He charged once, talking about Wilson. He learned his lesson and he's really been effective since.
Pemberton opened briefly, but Lewis closes out on him. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Pemberton a two-pointer, no. Stuckey Mosley with the rebound. JMU with a chance to tie this game with a three. A 6-2 advantage here for James Madison out of the gates.
Lewis is open in the middle there. They just threw it away. They had him at the foul line and threw it away. Got to throw it away from the defense.
Coburn hits a three. What a shot. Coburn just fearless.
You usually don't make those when you fumble the ball, but he got his composure and stuck it. He's a 42% three-point shooter as well.
Nice pass, but well defended as Coburn blocks it away. And a foul on Taylor. Banks trying to take it up strong. He'll get a couple of free throws here.
When the big man gets it, you always look for your partner. Darius Banks looking for Wilson there, and the ball got bounced around wide. There's the pass, and right back to him. And he aggressively crosses over. And there is nothing wrong with getting a foul on Jacquil Taylor if you got a black shirt on.
Banks, a 78% free throw shooter on the season, knocks in the first. Waiting for JMU fans, obviously happy to have Banks in the lineup. We heard last week during the conference call, Lewis Rowe, the head coach, said that Banks had suffered a hand injury and he was a long shot to play in the tournament.
You can see his left hand's wrapped up around that thumb. Samuel Johnson, the athletic trainer, I'm sure he gets a lot of that credit. Therapy and taping it up.
7 points, 5 rebounds for Banks. 5-point game. Bowie on the drive. Misses the shot, but a foul on James Madison.
You want to be
the first on Mosley.
You want to be a point guard. Obviously, Desir Bowie's crazy good on defense. But when he was driving in there, his head never looked down at the ball. His head's up looking for people. That's why he averages almost 5.5 assists a game. But you got to be looking for your teammates, and if it's not there, keep going. That's what he did.
Well, we've talked about how good Hofstra has been from the free throw line all season long, and one of the reasons why is this guy, Desir Bowie. 91% free throw shooter during the regular season.
And late in games, if they're close, and they didn't have a lot of close ones, ball's in his hands.
Rips the net on both those. Just to put that in perspective, again, when you say 91%, well, what does that mean? He was 93 for 102 from the free throw line during the regular season.
That's hard to do in the gym in the summertime when there's nobody out there. It's not hard to do, it's impossible.
Banks with the drive and the finish.
Well, it's like the seas parted. Jacquil Taylor didn't want another foul, and Banks took advantage of that fact.
5-point game. It's been as close as 3 here late.
Boy, Jacquil Taylor just stuck an elbow right in the face of Matt Lewis.
Bowie underneath to Taylor. They go to him again. Taylor now with 14 points.
For a big man, he is very, very light on his feet. Jacquil Taylor, long arms, very athletic. That's where you got to get it.
Banks blocked by Taylor. Gets it back against the double team, lays it in. What a game for Banks.
Great composure right there for Banks, not to travel with it and not to be in a hurry. Got the first one blocked, put the second one in.
11 points now for Darius Banks. And this is going to be another foul on Stuckey Mosley. That'll be his second. And we've got a 5-point game with 15-18 left to play.
Darius Banks gets it blocked. Look, he doesn't walk. He takes his time. That 2-3 zone in attack. Banks and company doing a good job, but there's a tough team to stop.
Near turnover, Wright Foreman now does lose it. Poked away, and Parker with a breakaway layup on the other end.
Justin Wright Foreman tried to get the ball and make sure he didn't step in the back court. And was a little hesitant to take away, and an easy one for the Dukes.
And back to a 3-point game. Hofstra has led by as many as 12. Bowie over to Wright Foreman.
He wanted to shoot that.
He's 2 for 9. Tries to pass underneath to Taylor, and it's stolen away. Here comes Banks. Underneath to Wilson. Into the corner, chance at the tie, and we are tied at 46.
Who else but Matt Lewis with the extra pass for a wide open three. He's been the man of this tournament so far. Let's see how the best team in the league reacts to it.
Blocking foul underneath against James Madison. And Lewis Rowe and his entire bench jump onto the court. And the head coach says, all right, everybody sit down.
I think it's where he was standing. I think he's inside the arc. See at the left side of your picture. Yeah, look at that right. Well, no, that was Taylor's right heel.
Foot, yep.
You cannot be in on or over that line. That's a bang call on full speed. That's tough.
Jalen Ray, he can get hot. That one spins out. Backside rebound by Pemberton. In the lane, shot is up and in. Count the basket and a foul.
Offensive rebounds. Offensive rebounds. Shot from the corner. An offensive rebound and at the free throw line.
Speaking of offensive rebounds, that's 11 now for Hofstra.
It's amazing. I mean, they're just, you can put a body on them, but if they're relentless, they got one more than you, and they just keep going to the glass.
I mean, 11 offensive rebounds could be a total for an entire game.
Yeah, absolutely. For a weekend.
Back to a 3-point game.
We're counting on Lewis to attack it properly, and he just did.
Underneath to Wilson. Oh, offensive foul against James Madison. So back-to-back calls going against JMU. Brings their fans to their feet. Unhappy.
I just got a text from a friend in Los Angeles. They did not give out all the Oscars. This is one more. That's a pretty good acting job right there. He got hit, but he didn't get hit that hard.
Jalen Ray able to get her away to Coburn.
Using Taylor as a screener here.
Bowie looks up at the shot clock. It's a 10.
Keep him out of the paint.
And he traveled with it.
Let's give credit where credit is due. On the other end, Dwight Wilson turns it over. On this end, they blitz the ball screen and got Bowie to travel. JMU looks very composed at this point in the basketball game.
Yeah, they've been very, very patient offensively against this 2-3 zone.
And they weren't like that in the first half. They got their points in transition.
Mosley into the corner. Shot clock down to 5. That one's no good. Backside rebound by Coburn. Contact and a foul against JMU again. It's going to go against Wilson.
Boy, Tariq Coburn got way up there for that one.
And for Wilson, that will be his third.
A junior out of Queens, New York, knew they needed a big-time board, went up and got it.
So do you make a move here? Do you take Wilson out with 12:54 to play and 3 fouls? Or do you ride with him? He's been your stud.
They're taking him out because they want to. It's who you want to finish with. You can put him back in with 8 minutes to go, and if he gets his fourth, leave him in.
So Wilson does head to the bench.
So does Jacquil Taylor, so it could be a wash.
This will be a foul against JMU again.
Jalen Ray going to the line. They're in the bonus now. This is not the team you want to put in the bonus. Trust me, 80% as a team. This is how they stay ahead in a lot of basketball games. I looked at that number when I was doing their stats. I'm saying it's got to be wrong. There's no way there's 80. And of course they missed after I talked about it.
Yeah, this has been uncharacteristic for Hofstra. They've actually missed 3.
Oh my gosh. Hurry up, put it on Twitter.
Yeah. They're 8 of 11 for the free throw line. It's
All
very
right.
unusual. They're only 11 for 11 at this point.
Composure's one thing, but now it's the end of the clock. Not for him.
Too short. Urbach with the tip and a foul on Hofstra this time. That's going to go against Coburn.
Urbach goes up to get it, and they call it on Coburn. That's a point of emphasis this year. Call the first contact underneath.
Just saw Urbach there a second ago. He's only played 12 games all year. This is his 13th appearance.
Yeah, Mike Stevens said he grabbed him by the arm.
Three-pointer ties it once again here for James Madison. Parker. They go underneath to Jacobs. Hook shots in there for Zach Jacobs. 1 point game.
Man averages 3.5 points a game, and that's a big bucket for the sophomore out of Richmond.
Bowie against Lewis. Lost it. Turnover to James Madison. Banks on the other end. And a foul. Free throws for Darius Banks when we come back. Hofstra led by as many as 12. That lead is all the way down to 1 with 11:43 left to play. Media timeout on the court will
saying that they need to make harder cuts to the basket on offense, and of course getting back on defense and transition, and of course the word we always keep saying in almost every basketball game, rebounding the ball. It'll definitely come down to that, guys, here late in the game.
All right, Bobby, and you know, Nate, you and I touched on this during the open about whether there'd be any pressure on Hofstra, the fact that they didn't play yesterday. They're the overall #1 seed. They have the CA Player of the Year. At what point does that pressure start to come back in a game like this?
About 2 more timeouts, and then it does. If it's still this close, because of the way JMU won last night. They believe if it's tight, somebody's going to make a play. Of course, last night it was Matt Lewis.
And we've got a tie game again.
The body language was interesting to me coming out of the timeout.
Another near steal. Hofstra able to save it. Pemberton over to Coburn, gets his man in the air, drives and scores.
That's a big-time athlete right there.
Parker against Jalen Ray.
Hofstra believes in the system. They've done it all year, and they're going to work, and it's going to win the basketball game for them. But JMU might have something to say about it.
Jacobs stripped from behind by Coburn, so a bucket on one end, a strip on the other for Tariq Coburn. Wright Foreman just 2 field goals so far. Kick out, Jalen Ray for 3. And JMU quickly basketball tournament right around the corner next week from the University of Delaware. Wednesday, March 13th through the 16th. Get your tickets today. 10 teams with 1 goal to be crowned champion. Go to CAAsports.com for more information. Again, all coverage right here on CAA.tv.
The timeouts to get things right and calm everybody down. We'll see if it works for the Dukes.
Stuckey Mosley in and out. That basketball was halfway down.
Boy, it was. These baskets, Jeff, have never been played on until this tournament. They're going, I was told last night, they're going to Columbia, South Carolina for the regional up there, and they worked it out, the CAA did, so they come here first, then they'll ship them up there. So these rims are as tight as they're ever going to be.
Right Foreman high in the air, gets the roll.
On the other end, on this end, the rims are a little looser. That one trickled in. You get the bounce if you're the second leading scorer in the nation.
Hofstra on a 7-0 run. There's 4 for the last 4 from the field. Still a lot of time in this one, 9.5 left.
Just go back to what was working. You took a run in the first half if you're JMU and you dealt with it.
Lewis, a little floater from the elbow, great touch. Lewis with 15 points, make it 17 points now, 7 of 11 from the field. He had 26 last night in their win against Towson.
Each team will get about 70 possessions. The next couple are important for JMU just for momentum. There's a ton of time, but you can't let them go left. You just can't do it. Ooh.
Right Foreman with one hand misses everything. Right Foreman now 3 for 11. Lewis gets it back. 10 seconds on the shot clock for the Dukes. Throws it up and air ball into the hands of Pemberton.
Tried to get a call there, thought he was going to get one. The referees are letting them play. They're not calling the little ones. You got to really hit somebody hard to get a foul called.
Justin Wright Foreman again, just 3 for 11. The reigning CAA Player of the Year, 2-time Player of the Year. Drives, kicks, 3 is good again.
The play was called sixer. I guess it's Justin Wright Foreman does what he wants and finds an open man. Second time he's found Jalen Ray.
I was going to say, whatever you call that play where he drives and kicks it to Jalen Ray, that's the one you want right now. Ray with 12 points. 4 3-pointers. Parker high off the glass, can't get it to go. Coburn with the rebound. And Banks trying to strip it away, forces a tie-up. And it's going to be James Madison basketball when we come back. So 7:43 left to play. Wright Foreman with the kick and Jalen Ray a 3-pointer. 8-point lead for Hofstra.
The sum above difference is
JMU Dukes, look for them to go to him the rest of this ball game.
As you said, not a bad idea, Bobby. 17 points, 4 assists for Matt Lewis. Yeah,
I love that.
What do you want to do?
I love that.
Parker, the freshman for JMU, running the show.
Nobody in this building has more confidence than Matt Lewis from last night, so that's a great move.
Wilson back into the game playing with 3 fouls. To Banks against Taylor, blocked from behind by Jacquil. Terrific defense.
Blocked it, he caught it.
Yeah, he almost palmed it and just took it away. Justin Wright Foreman spins, baseline floater is no good. Rebound down to JMU. Wright Foreman now 3 for 12 from the field.
He's had a couple of them that have spun in and back out. Got to get Banks or Lewis in the middle right there when the ball's on one wing and find him in that foul line area.
Underneath to Wilson, one-on-one against Taylor. And another block by Taylor. Wilson gets it back though. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Out to Parker. And throws it up and out of bounds. Missed everything. He was hoping for some contact. I think on a little bit.
Coach Mahalik called Jacquil Taylor the unsung hero. I'm going to sing his praises. This kid's been unbelievable today. Both ends, rebounding, scoring, blocking shots. He had a block shot in each of the last 2 possessions.
A 10-2 run right now for the Hofstra Pride as they've opened up an 8-point lead. They led by as many as 12. This game has been tied twice here in the second half. Wright Foreman able to get a little bit of separation with Lewis and knocks it in. What a shot by the Player of the Year.
Nothing needs to be said, just watch that. Wow.
You know, we've watched him enough to know when his eyes get big, it's over.
And when it's game time, it's usually over.
Mosley with the layup. Bounces a couple of times on the rim and in.
Well, we're at the point where this man that's got the ball now is going to keep it till there's single digits on the clock and he's going to do his thing. He may not shoot it every time, but he's going to make the decision every time. They'll send up a big for a ball screen. and sometimes they'll switch it. He'll slip it, and here comes the guard.
Gets a screen and leaves it short.
He thought he got bumped on that one.
Banks back the other way, tries to skip it out, stolen away by Coburn. And now stripped from behind by Mosley. And this one's going to be tied up in the lane. It'll be Hofstra basketball.
Joe Mihalik can't believe something wasn't called there. I don't blame you, Coach. There was a. They're letting you play. You got to adjust to it. But watch how many times the bumps happen here.
That was one right there.
There's one. There's two. There's three. There's four.
Yeah, great reaction by Joe Mihalik, head coach by Hofstra.
As a player, you got to love they're letting you play, but there's a fine line where you got to blow your whistle. The next touch, there will be a whistle blown. It's the Justin Wright Foreman show for the next 5 minutes and 13 seconds.
Against Parker. What a pass to Taylor!
He's the whole package. He's right in front of us. We can see his eyes like you can in that camera. That's an intense look.
Tough shot, won't go. Tipped, Pemberton trying to save it. Good hands though by Banks to Mosley, who gets the layup.
I like it. Take it to the basket, attack them, get a foul on somebody. They need and ones for the next 4:30.
Lead back to single digits. 4.5 minutes left to play.
They run the same play over and over and let him make a great decision.
Right, Foreman. A little bit out of control that time.
Right to the rim.
Banks all the way to the other end. Taylor and Wilson battling for it, and it goes out of bounds, a whistle. It looks like we got a foul. We do. Foul's going to go against Darius Banks and James Madison.
JMU not in the double bonus yet with 18 fouls on the opponent. That's amazing. It's only 3 fouls JMU's committed in this half.
That's actually the 8th by JMU. 3 have been whistled against Hofstra.
That's crazy.
Taylor misses the front end of the 1-and-1. Banks comes up with it.
There's the break you wanted if you're a Dukes fan.
Lewis off the glass, no good. Long tip out. Keeps the possession alive for the Dukes. Banks for 3 from the top of the key. For a couple other guys by the name of Noah Dahlman, Cameron Rundles.
They had a few. They still do. Undefeated in Southern Conference play this year.
Justin Wright Foreman starting to take charge in this basketball game. They skip it over to Bowie. He's looking for a 3, in and out. Rebound down to JMU, down by 6.
If there's an opening, take it. If not, attack properly.
Underneath, Wilson, double team. Banks, step back 3, too short. Rebound though down to JMU. Lewis drives and can't get it to roll in. Tipped and out of bounds. It's going to stay with JMU.
Let me tell you something. Lewis had a layup, but because Jacquil Taylor was there, he changed his shot so it wouldn't get blocked. They missed it, but they keep possession. Jacquil Taylor's been influenced whether he touches the ball or not. A lot of time left.
Third time these two teams have met this season. They each won on the other's home court. So James Madison's done it before. Nice extra pass to Stuckey Mosley. Big 3 for JMU. Back to a 1-possession game.
That extra pass for a great shot.
Last time these two teams met just about a week and a half or 2 weeks ago was James Madison winning at home in overtime, 104-99. Right, Foreman to Ray. 2-pointer from the baseline, short. Jalen with the rebound. Has it stripped away from behind and a foul.
He tried to do the right thing and pull it out to get another 30, but somebody grabbed his arm.
Foul goes against Matt Lewis, and that's number 4 on what has been the star player so far in this tournament here for James Madison.
He's not coming out. He's not going anywhere. You don't even tell Coach Rowe he's got 4. Leave him in there. They need him.
Jalen Ray, big free throw. Again for Hofstra down the stretch. The second best free throw shooting team in the country.
And that might come into play if it gets tight down the stretch. Who do you foul? There's really nobody you can foul. You foul the worst free throw shooter. They don't have a worst. Their worst might be 77%. Big miss though. Same defense, they haven't changed it yet. JMU in spurts has found ways to attack it exceptionally well.
Mosley kicks it out, 3-pointer by Banks, won't go. Banks has been so good, 15 points, just couldn't get that one to go. By the way, a double-double for Banks, 15 points, 12 rebounds.
And Coach Rowe looks at everybody like, just shook his fist like, man, that was a great shot. And I agree, Coach, it was.
Under 2 minutes left here from Charleston. Justin Wright Foreman on the drive and scores so quick.
They cleared out the left side, and it's tough to let a lefty go left, especially with the ability of that young man.
6-point game with 90 seconds left to play. Mosley runs into Jalen Ray, and that's going to be a foul on Hofstra.
But believe it or not, it's only the 4th foul on them. Great asset for them that they can bump people. They're not going to put them on the line yet for a while.
Mosley from the corner, it's stripped by Ray. Numbers for Hofstra. Bowie with the layup. Lewis, little floater over the top of Taylor. And JMU hanging in there with 1 minute left to play. Still a 2-possession game.
Coach Rowe wanted to call timeout, but he's only got 1 left. He's going to save it. Good move. If you ever had a stop, now's the time for the Dukes to get a stop.
Pemberton against Banks, and a foul on Darius Banks. That's going to be his 3rd.
You know, Jeff, I thought they might have had him a little bit if they'd get a stop there. Granted, Hofstra would have taken a lot of time off the clock, but I just don't like putting this team on the free throw line when the game's in the balance.
Pemberton, 77% free throw shooter this season. And for Hofstra now 9 of 14 from the free throw, make it 9 of 15. That is uncharacteristic for this team. Again,
yep, I agree.
Second best free throw shooting team in the country. We were joking about earlier, but now they are starting to mount up some of these misses at the free throw line.
Azura Bowie just turned around and yelled at everybody in his team, we've got to talk. You can't have a mix-up defensively here.
7-point game. Lewis, nice spin. And 2 free throws coming up for Matt Lewis. An 81% free throw shooter this season.
Well, the good news is if he makes the second one, you need to make them both, of course, but the second one, they can set their defense and don't have to use a timeout to do that. And they almost have to foul somebody because of the amount of time left. Or get a steal or a trap.
And back to a 2-possession game with 30 seconds left.
1 trap, and then you have to foul. And it doesn't matter who you foul. I mean, it does, but it really doesn't against JMU. Excuse me, against Hofstra.
Bowie gets it into Pemberton, and quickly they foul Pemberton. And again, you know, Pemberton pretty good this season, 77%, but of all of the guys in this team, that's probably one of the better options because we've talked about some of the other ones like Justin Wright Foreman at 86%, Bowie at 91%.
It's amazing. The worst is 77.
Yeah. mean, that's the play right now. It's either Pemberton or Taylor. And Pemberton makes the first, a big one to make it a 7-point lead.
They're going to pull everybody out because they don't want to transition, bucket, make, or miss to burn them at the other end. The defense will be set.
Coming up next, we'll have 30 minutes in between games, and then we will see number 4 William & Mary against number 5 Delaware. The winner of this game will take on the winner of that next matchup. 2 big free throws for Pemberton. James Madison now in a hurry, 25 seconds left, and it's thrown away by Lewis. He was looking for Banks, but Banks wasn't looking for it.
Little miscommunication.
And that might just be the dagger in this one.
I think you foul again.
And they do foul Justin Wright Foreman, but again, 86% from the free throw line. And the CAA Player of the Year will have a chance to put this one away with 19 seconds left.
5 in double figures for the Pride. They're shooting 50% from the field. Basically what they do all season, a tick better.
Well, that's exactly what we talked about back in the open when we were talking about Justin Wright Foreman. There's really not a lot of pressure on him, even when he doesn't go off for 30 points.
Yep.
Look at all of his teammates.
Yeah, they got 5 in doubles, and he's going to be close to the lead scorer, but Taylor's going to be the leader with 16.
And 3 for 3 now from the free throw line.
They're a really good basketball team. They really are. Coach Mihalik's put together a heck of a bunch, and they're not where they are in the CAA standings because they're lucky. It's because they're really good.
Just so well-rounded. How about that? Calmly knocks down 2.
And sprints back to play defense.
Lewis rolls in a 3-pointer to make it a 7-point game with 13 seconds left.
Jacquil Taylor might get this simply because Wilson's guarding him, but he's not denying the ball.
Bowie gets it into Wright Foreman. Boy, and you're right. He grabbed that thing like it was a stack of $100 bills.
And it doesn't take a PhD to know throw the ball to number 3.
Boy, you are right. The way he clutched that basketball, you nailed it.
Well, he wants to get fouled. He wants to go to the line. And everybody that has a Hofstra shirt or sweatshirt on wants him to get the ball. Well, Coach Joe Mahalik and company knew they didn't play a game in the first round because they're the number 1 seed. And you're a little nervous about the outcome. Now they're going to get a W under their belt and move on to the semis.
Stuckey Mosley, the redshirt senior. Moment with his head coach Lewis Rowe, and a nice round of applause from the JMU fans behind their bench.
Great player, great career.
His final game here with James Madison. Down to 10 seconds left. Lewis all the way. Can't get it to go. Taylor with the rebound. Hands it off to Pemberton and the Hofstra Pride. Got some pressure today from the number 8 seed James Madison, but they hang on to win it. And Hofstra moving on to the semifinals as they win it by a final of 76-67. Well, again, a heck of an effort by the Dukes today, Nate. Trailed by 12 twice. Remember, they trailed by 12 with 2.5 minutes to go in the first half.